Hey, this is Larry Fleet, and today I'm answering some questions with CountryLine. Well, my great uncle is the one that taught me how to play music. He taught me how to play guitar. And my great granddad, by the time I got old enough to really play, he was pretty sick, and so he really couldn't do much anymore. So my great uncle taught me how to play, and they taught me bluegrass, and that's what they learned how to. Well, that's what they always played. That and gospel, and so that was my roots: bluegrass, gospel music, and playing in church and stuff. So they were a big influence on me because that's what I knew was that. And then as I got older and I got into more different kinds of music and stuff, um, it evolved a little bit. But that was my core, was from them and them teaching me how to play. And if it wasn't for them teaching me, I probably wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing now. You know, doing construction work and stuff. Um, Doing that during the day, and then on the weekends and at nights during the week and stuff, I would go play bars and different things. Or you could hire me for a few $100 and I would come and play at your house or wherever. And that's kind of how this got started. And a guy hired me to come and play his barn, and they were having like a wedding reception slash redneck party. And so I'm there to play, and a guy says, "Hey, Jake Owen is coming out here tonight, so you might want to, show out a little bit." So I thought, well, why would Jake Owen be coming here? But sure enough, he did. He shows up and he sat and watched me play all night. And after I kind of got done with the little thing that I was doing, he sat and talked with me for a while, and we exchanged numbers. And he's like, "Hey, I want to help you out. I think you need to kind of quit your job and, you know, going back, he asked what I did for a living. I told him I did concrete and stuff, and this is just I did this for fun. He said, "Well, I think you need to quit your job and do this for a living." And I said, "Well, you take me on the road with you, and we'll see what happens." And sure enough, a week or two goes by, and he took me on the road. First week we went and played, it went great, and then uh, he asked if I was going to quit, and I said, "Well, it depends on if you're going to take me on the road again." And he did the next week, and then he said, "You're going to quit your job?" So I did, and I took a gamble, and it was a big one, um, but it paid off, and here we are now, and things are looking up, So that's where you learn to be a musician, an entertainer. You learn what people actually want to hear, and so that really, I may have learned how to play from my, great uncle and stuff, but bluegrass and gospel music, that's one thing. But to go into a bar full of drunks and trying to play whatever they want to hear, like that's a whole different thing. So that made me where I'm at today. Like I learned how to play what people want to hear, because what I wanted to hear was most of the time not what somebody else wanted to hear when they were drinking. And I've always been more of the songwriter guy and into storytelling stuff, and that wasn't what the drunk guy at the bar wanted to hear. So every single night I watched people come in and I listened to what they wanted to hear, and I would try to learn it. I would go home every night and try to learn a new song that somebody requested, and so it taught me to be the people person, the entertainer, and it helped me grow. And because a lot of kids are coming up and they just get on TikTok or whatever, and boom, the next day they're a star or whatever, and it's like they never really learn how to play to a crowd. They never learn how to run your own sound or anything like that. So I had to learn how to hook up everything, run the sound, play everything, change strings. Like I was my own guy, and then to play for a crowd and have something go wrong and figure it out on the fly. So it taught me every musical life lesson I need to learn in that bar. So that made who I am. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I've had quite a few. Like this has been one. I've never been out of the United States really. I mean, we went up to Niagara Falls in Canada, but I barely made it across the border. But as far as like getting on a plane and going to a different country, like this is the first time. So this is a highlight for me. And coming and playing the O2, and honestly, like there was people that knew who I was, but there was a lot of people that left that show and now they know who I am. They had no clue coming into it, and so I feel like I made some new friends, new fans, and So that's been a good highlight. And then, um, back home, the Ryman Auditorium is one of the most like iconic places for country music, and I actually got to headline it for the first time. I played it many times with other people, but never headlined it myself. And so I did that, and it sold out like in the first day. So that was right up there. That was probably one of the highest moments for me throughout the year. And then, I mean, getting to watch my kids grow, and Waylon started riding a bike with no training wheels this year. That was pretty cool too. So I've had a lot, but I would say coming to London and doing the Ryman, those are two of the top ones. Well, it's hard. I would say, when I first kind of got going good, my little boy, he was born in 2019, so that was my first year of like with Big Loud and coming out, really getting after it. So it was growing, but I was still driving. I had a little, well, I had a bus, and I was driving it because I couldn't afford a driver and all that stuff. So I'm driving this thing around, and we toured all over the United States, and I was gone a lot. His first part of his first year, and then 2020 happened, so we were home a lot. I got to spend a lot of time there, but being on the road and growing is hard because you've got to work a lot if you want this thing to work out. But it helped me because I know what I was, working for. So I'm out here, running all over the place. But I'm trying to put food on the table. That was my job. And so I'm doing that, and it's hard watching them grow up when you come home for a day or two, and you're like, golly, like, growing so quick. But now I've been fortunate enough that I have a tour bus, and I've done better. I've made a little more money or whatever, and it's like I can afford to take them with me now. So they get to come. They're not here in London with me for these few days that I'm here, but we go on the road. We have a bus. They ride. My boy comes out on the stage, and my little girl, she could care less. She must have passed out by the time I'm playing, but we have a lot of fun, and I take them with me, and we do fun things together, and we experience things. And then next year I've got a bus being built, so that'll be our bus, the family bus, and they'll be on a lot more things with me. But that is how I'm balancing it right now. It was very tough at first, but now it's getting better. And but yeah, it's still tough when you got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and you're trying to go out here and play and do all this. But we're managing, and it's going good. It's going a lot better than it was. Well, we put out a record in September, and I write all the time. So I've been writing a lot of songs. We're starting to record again, and so from what I understand here, things move a lot faster than they do back in the States. But so put out the record in September, and then things are moving along pretty good, radio-wise and different things. But probably going to cut another song, well, next week when I get back home. We're going to the studio, doing a song or two, and then just keep recording as we go. I keep writing them, record the good ones, and still write bad ones from time to time. But record the good ones, and we'll probably start releasing stuff next year. Radio singles and different things like that. So honestly, I tour a lot, so that I look forward to live shows, and we start out 24 in Oregon and Washington State and like the whole West Coast, and it's gonna be cold and snowy, but kind of starting there and then just grooving along, trying to keep the train on the tracks, But honestly, that's it. We make music, we write them, and then sing them, and then go out and play. So that's kind of our life.